Well, thank you for joining us. My name is Yemi Adebayo, and I welcome you to this basketball segment, Thursday night edition of Sports Tonight. And there are things to talk about on the domestic scene. We just gave you a slice of what's happening in the NBA, but we'll be talking about basketball on the local scene. But to do that with me tonight, I have Femi with me. Femi, let me welcome you to the show.
It's always a pleasure being around.
Okay, let's go straight to the welfare package that has been talked about so much. The NBBF trying to do a lot for Nigerian basketball, and it's good to know that they have good plans. We are hearing that the NBBF has resolved to work with teams, sponsors, and stakeholders in the league to introduce players, insurance, and uniform contract for 2014-2015 system. I think that's a good one.
Credit must go to the NBBF, for this one, because if you look at it, there's only just one team, in the Premier League that has sponsorship at the moment, and the Downward Basketball Club of Lagos. And encouraging other teams to go out for it, I think is a welcome idea because it creates more revenue for them. And of course, I
know there are some other things that they plan to do, some sort of innovation in the seasons ahead.
Yes, also we took about player insurance too. They're encouraging teams to go professional and insure these players, because this is what they do for a living. And when they get injured, perhaps some of these clubs, might reduce payment or stopping them. But when there's an insurance policy, it helps to reduce, cost of medical bills and all.
The NBA also promised to do something to ensure that our players, the exodus of stars, the turnover is really high. Nigerian players is
very high. But I think this is very commendable from the NBBF. Looking at developmental, basketball, they've encouraged teams or better still private owners to come to NBBF wherever you need. If you want to develop a league, if you want a clinic, if you want a competition, just come over. And so good to go. We hear that the NBBF has encouraged one of the youth leagues we normally talk about here, on the program, the Youth Alive Community Basketball League. They will have an elite team that would play, a teaser, so to speak, in the ceremonial game, for tomorrow before the big boys.
So let's also talk about, we'll get to that one later. Okay. Let's also talk about something that will gladden your heart. The sponsors for the women. The NBBF has, received guarantees that, look, we've been with you for 10 years, but we're going to continue. It's not going to stop.
Yeah, I think it's good. It's good to know that because the women's league too needs a lot of publicity, a lot of work. Most of the attention goes to the male guys. So it's high time that the girls to begin to get something. And for the sponsors to say they still right behind the back, it's good to go. It's encouraging. And of course, they also open doors to other sponsors to come in as well and do the same, just like they're doing for the male team.
And the president says he hopes that with better organization, we're going to be able to keep our best players here and lure foreign-based players to the league.
The NBBF is looking at that, bringing in more foreign-based, even Nigerians playing abroad.
Yes, come back
and add glamour, and make the league a little bit thicker. Also, Super Sports in the same vein said that with their partnership with the NBA, now they show NBA games in Africa. They will be also attracting
60 games.
They'll be 60 games this season. They will also be attracting some NBA players, to come over, to come and participate.
Let's go about this one quickly. It's going to happen tomorrow. Oluwole Warriors, Police Button, Lock Horns.
Yeah, it's a ceremonial game, to arrive the new season.
Exactly.
The season will start officially next weekend, next Friday, to be precise.
The fixtures are out already.
The fixtures are out.
That to the viewers next week.
Oluwole Warriors was a good team, starting last season. They started like a house on fire, but inexperience and a couple of other things, truncated, their quest, to move forward. They tried. They got to the conference final four, and they did a whole lot for themselves.
So, what are we likely to see tomorrow? It's going to take place at the National Stadium Indoor Sports Hall.
Yeah, by 4 p.m. Like I said earlier, the Youth Alive Elite team under 14s and under 16 will play first, from 2 p.m. Then the big boys will take over from 4. Police struggled a bit last season, but this time around they are going to make a statement because they're one of the oldest teams, in the league. In terms not with age, but in terms of experience and being together as a team. So they said this year will be different. And yes, they want to show that tomorrow, and let's see how much they can do.
I hope tomorrow will be a sign of good things to come. A lot has been said, a lot has been promised, but we hope that all of those things will come to be. Let's talk about wheelchair basketball quickly. It's no longer news that the International Wheelchair Basketball, the 3rd edition, sponsored by Victor Oche, was won by Oyo State. But the Nigerian Wheelchair Basketball Federation is also making promises. First on the list is that they're working hard to ensure that they establish a league before the end of the year. And I think that's big.
Yeah, it's huge. It's big, and I think it's possible because you look at the amount of dignitaries that were at that final.
Yeah.
You would say it's very, very possible. And the fact that even cash prizes were doled out, without even being called. I remember $1,000 given to the most valuable player for the male. Musbashiti was just right from the high table.
So you think it can happen?
It's possible, yes.
Okay, all right. So we hope that the Wisher Basketball Federation will be able to get the league running. A lot of the other promises they made, they will be able to keep to it to ensure that Wisher Basketball, maybe we are able to, take the #1 place away from South Africa and win gold in Rio, as the president has promised. Well, that's how we wrap things up for this segment, and we'll go on a break. When we come back after that break, we'll make a switch. Tony returns.